Alright guys, in a third video for the day, let's talk about more censorship because, there's so much of it right now. Oregon Salon owner, state sent child protective services after me because I opened my business. Yes, that's right. In Oregon, if you open your business, you might get CPS knocking on your door. You might ask what that has to do with anything. It doesn't, really. It's an excuse for them to send CPS to your door. It's a threat. You open your business and we will send CPS to your door and possibly take your children away. Now, I suppose the left could always make some argument that she's endangering her child. Yeah, okay, sure. But, hey, let's jump into the argument and let's debunk that. By the way, her name's Lindsey Graham, which, by the way, I think is a really cool coincidence because there's actually a Republican called that, but jump into it. Lindsey Graham, a Salon owner. So when I say Lindsey Graham, I'm talking about her, not the Republican. So Lindsey Graham, a Salon owner in Salem, Oregon, detailed how state authorities dispatched child service protective services, or CPS, to a home as a part of their response to an ongoing business operation in defiance of Governor Kate Brown's statewide stay-at-home order. Graham, owner of Glamour Salon, described harassment and bullying directed against her by the government on SiriusXM's Breitbart News Sunday in an interview with host Joel Podrick. We do have the video, we'll play that in a sec. Graham recalled how an agent from Oregon's Child Protective Services, a subsidiary from the State Department of Human Services, was sent to her home on the same day as a reopening of her hair salon. And I'm sure they have nothing in common, right? On May 7th, I got a phone call from my nanny, said Graham. As soon as I went to work, the DHS officer came to my home and tried to speak to her, and she said, I don't feel comfortable answering any questions for you. Smart nanny. I think you need to call the homeowner. So DHS basically stopped by my house and said they had some claims against me and my family about our home being unfit. The same DHS agent returned to Graham's home following Monday, and he separated Graham and her husband from their 6-year-old son in order to privately interview the child. Graham is also a mother of a 3-year-old girl and an 8-week-old son. Graham stated the CPS agent came back to my home and my intention was great. Let the guy in and let him see what a great, loving home, clean and happy home we have. So he'll just kind of get out of here. That never works. He interviewed myself and my husband in separate rooms. He interviewed my 6-year-old son in a separate room. He searched our home. He lifted up the toilet seat and opened our fridge. None of this is warranted. There are all bogus claims. Our home is completely safe and has always been. This is the definition. This is definitely some kind of vendetta, sending a government agency after my family. I would say her neighbor or someone who doesn't like her business has reported her house to CPS. Graham shared the episode during the press conference held last Friday, and we do have it here. It does go for 16 minutes, so we might just listen to the start of it.
All right, Breitbart News Sunday. Closing out the show with a really important interview. And we've often tried to focus on small business owners who are dealing with the coronavirus pandemic and its consequences in so many different ways, whether it's staying open or trying to change their business model or people who are just making a difference in helping the lives of others. And you've heard many different guests over the weeks that have passed. And a colleague of mine at Breitbart News noticed an incredible video online of a press conference that happened Friday with a woman who owns a salon in downtown Salem, Oregon. Her name is Lindsey Graham, and she has an extraordinary story to tell about perseverance in the face of obstacles as she's tried to reopen her business this month. And we're very pleased to be joined by Lindsey Graham, not that Lindsey Graham, but this Lindsey Graham, the owner of Glamour Salon in Salem, Oregon. Welcome to Breitbart News Sunday.
Thank you very much. Happy Sunday to you guys.
Thank you. So tell us your story, start to finish. I would love people to hear exactly what you have been through.
I've been through quite a bit the last couple weeks. I decided on May 2nd that I was done being closed down. I was done being out of an income for my family, and I was done being locked in my house. And I announced on May 2nd that I would be opening my salon in Salem on May 5th, a Tuesday. And the story gathered a lot of attention. And on May 4th, before I could even open, I was down at the salon cleaning and getting it ready to go. And OSHA stopped by, which is Oregon Safety and Hazardous Occupational Hazard Association. And they wanted to have a, quote, friendly conversation with me about what would happen if I opened. And they alluded to the fact that they would issue me a $1,000 citation if I were to open my doors, and I needed to close them. And if I continued to open my doors, the next fine would be $70,000. So before I could even get my doors open, I was being threatened by the government. But I opened them anyway on May 5th, and I had an outpouring of support on the sidewalk and on social media, and no sign of OSHA for a couple days. And every day since I've opened, I've been harassed by the government from some form or entity. So, for example, the 6th, I believe the next day after I opened, my building is, my space is leased through the city of Salem. And the city of Salem sent me a letter saying that I was violating my lease terms by ignoring a government authority. And then they outlined, where I was violating my lease. So they threatened my lease for my business. And then on May 7th, I got a phone call from my nanny that as soon as I went to work, a DHS officer came to my home and tried to speak to her. And she said, I don't feel comfortable answering any questions for you. I think you need to call, the homeowner. And so DHS basically stopped by my house and said that they had some claims against me and my family about our home being unfit. And of course, DHS is a government operation, state operation. So on Monday,
that's the Department of Human Services, the child welfare, child.
So yeah, okay. I think I've listened to enough of this already. All right. If it was just the DHS, if it was just CPS that came out to her house, I would be like, fine. Maybe there was some reason for it. Maybe they saw the tats on her arm, and maybe she's dating some biker and they thought the kids might have been in danger or something like that. But, oh God, my cat is driving me nuts. But at the end of the day, she's had 3 government bodies threaten her for opening after she announced that she was going to open her store. She had the health and safety come around. She's had the Salem rental agreement looked at and claimed that she's in violation of that. And she's had CPS come around to her house. 3 different government bodies within the course of a week. I would love to know how to get that much government attention, because the only time I've ever got that much government attention was when I started jumping up and down about NBN. Funny enough, when I started jumping up and down, all of a sudden NBN, which is a government body here in Australia, became really interested in helping me, and I had about as much luck trying to trip over government officials up until that point as she's probably had. So it's really weird how all of a sudden they can move when they want to. But regardless, long story, but regardless. So after she says that she's going to open her saloon, or salon if you're American, she's had 3 different government bodies looking into different cases. Please, someone tell me that you don't think this is linked. No, we don't think that's linked. No, at the end of the day, no, of course not. You threatening to defy the government and to open your salon is in no way or shape or form related to the fact you've had 3 different branches of the government knock on your door or contact you in some different way and threaten you. I wish I could say that with a straight face. Hello, boy. My cat's here. I wish I could say that with a straight face. I really, really do. Yeah. Hello. Say hello to the internet. But at the end of the day, I totally think at the end of the day, this is all related. This is all linked. And now he won't leave me alone. This is all totally linked. Of course the government's harassing this poor woman. Graham said the press conference while holding back tears. Graham shared, Child Protective Services have showed at my home. They've questioned my husband and I. They've questioned my child without my presence. They've searched our home. Right, I've read that. So they won't let me in the room. They've questioned my child, Graham noted, for CPS private questionings of her 6-year-old son. As far as I'm aware, the case is open as well. So I don't know if they're going to talk to my 8-week-old newborn. They probably would try. It's government body, by the way. Did they check his diaper? This is a false claim that's wasted CPS's valuable time. Yeah, I'm glad there's no actual children in danger that CPS need to actually worry about. But anyway, everyone's job is essential, not because of what we do or how we do it, because we make our living at a Graham. I'm constantly terrified of the surrounding businesses in Marion County that are still deemed non-essential. How many more businesses are going to go bankrupt and have to lose because of this order? Salon have been threatened to terminate the lease given that her business is located on the property leased from the city. Graham said that she was also initially threatened with a $70,000 fine and eventually issued a $14,000 for opening a hazardous facility for her employees. She noted that her salon does not have employees but instead partners with independent contractors who voluntarily choose to work for her business. I don't have employees in my salon right now, remarked Graham. I have independent contractors that are choosing to work and choose to do their clients' hair, so they cannot provide for their families and their children. Authorities further threatened to revoke Graham and her contractual professional license for opening in defiance of the governor. Stay-at-home decree. Land of the free. It really, really is, isn't it? Look, at the end of the day, guys, I've got to let him out, I know. At the end of the day, guys, this is absolutely scary. You have the government literally bearing down on a small business owner because at the end of the day, they don't like the fact that she's opened her salon. Now, you can see here in the photo, she actually has a mask. I presume she has the mask to get her workers to work for them. And at the end of the day, there, you can see the mask there. So, what's the risk? What's the problem? Oh, wait, she's 1.5 meters. She's not 1.5 meters away from her clients. Well, she's not even working. She's not even the one doing it. She's a contractor. You know, here's the masks here of her employees. They've got masks on. They're cutting people's hair. What is the problem? Even if this beer bug was as bad as what everybody is saying, what is the problem with it? They have masks on. I presume they're going through and obviously taking care of the situation. They're trying to remain as hygienic as possible, and yet the government is still cracking the absolute willies. I have to say that because I can't swear on YouTube. Because at the end of the day, how dare this small business owner? What do they want us to do? Live in some dystopia where it's only big businesses that have survived this because all the small businesses have been crushed? Oh, wait, that's what they want. Never mind. That's what it's all about, guys. Get rid of the small businesses. Bring in the large corporations. Have everything run by 7 or 8 people in the world. And the rest of us, we can all be peons. We can live on Elysium, where we have minimum rights and we have to fight for cans of food. That's what they want. And everybody that is sitting there right now going on about beer bug and buying this whole fear campaign, wake up. You're being used. Wake up to yourselves. I really wish some of these people that really were getting panicky over this beer bug would literally wake up to themselves. But anyway. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I just see this as government trying to crush small businesses. That's what they're trying to do. We can get rid of small business here. Every small business can be brought out by some large corporate global corporation. And hey, we can have the major corporations running the world. I'm not saying they deliberately launched the virus because of that. But I tell you what, I reckon some of the Democrats are definitely taking advantage of it. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I've got to go let my cat out because he's really starting to get annoying. Apart from that, guys, have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. And I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube tomorrow night. Have a great night and enjoy.